Good day, everybody. Oh my goodness, look at this. We need to update this, don't we? This is still here for the Daily Market Pulse. This is for there it is, Wednesday, May 21st. So we had solid gains. However, lower volume. Not much conviction behind that move. Triple digit downside yesterday, triple digit upside today. So they take back what they lost, but then again, as mentioned, no volume behind it. Volume higher on the downside, lower on the upside. Not the greatest overall for confidence. There's your Dow Jones. That's the TSX. Pardon me. I'm going to take you back to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, as I said, double digits, triple digits yesterday, triple digits upside today. Back slightly over the moving average. Pivot still at 16.6 with room higher, of course. Uh, Holding this recent pivot area as well, based on yesterday and today's lows. For now, anyway, we'll see what they do with it going forward. Naturally, as we move over to the S&P, good bump up off the 50, back slightly over 1885 to 1888. Room for us to much higher, 1900. Right now, it still looks kind of stuck and jammed for now until they prove us that they are truly, truly bullish. There is the Nasdaq bouncing reasonably well back, going, but still going sideways really overall in a smaller range, below a declining 50. So not real convincing on the Nasdaq side either. The TSX I showed you just briefly here. I'll take it and bring it back up there again for you. Right now, there it is. There is the Harami at a support area. We're looking for a big flush, or we were actually looking for a nice bounce. The bounce was probably more predominant and more likely, and there it is back over the 8 moving average for the time being. U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar is next. There's a bounce of what appears to be support across 108.50. But there's still a series of highs that are declining, so this is still a downtrend, almost a descending triangle. Euro US we may as well look at as well. That's still holding support, as you can see. Treasuries, they faded today based on the Fed minutes. That's why the markets were up, and on the timing of the Fed minutes release. Still looks like an area of support, that whole blue shaded area. I would still consider an area for potential support, and so still look for a bounce here with the markets potentially force dropping in an inverse correlated manner. And the Japanese yen popped aggressively at one point to the levels we were talking about that we wanted to see as a target, 99 plus, and then faded, of course, closing in the red for the day, but still, nonetheless, probably a little bit of fatigue here, probably a little bit of a sideways of profit-taking type of consolidation day, just based on what's been going on at this resistance level for quite some time. Gold and silver both extremely quiet for the most part. Barely any kind of move other than the fact that it just came off its lows to finish a little bit higher for the day. And silver, kind of the same thing, more of a engulfing doji kind of formation as well. And then when we look at crude had inventories on this Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern, and they catapulted to the upside just like that. Aggressive move to the upside. Target was going to be 104.50. It made it about to 104 and a quarter, I believe, somewhere in that range. Let's see what it did. 104.29, correct. So not quite the 104.50, but it doesn't matter. It's close enough. It could still go up and through. Still looking for a possibility of a rise and a push through the higher levels. Two things have to occur. You see this thick blue line. This was the original trend line that was there before. That will act as potential resistance here on the way back up. So it's got two levels of resistance to try to break through, including the Bollinger Band. You can always, of course, then it could reverse to the downside. The other one was this. There's, of course, a series of highs and lows that are still going higher, more so from here. Come on. This one from here. Let's go across there like that. So that's the series of lows right there. So everything's still pushing higher. So momentum moved to the upside, or there's some kind of a rejection at this resistance level on crude. Let's move over to small caps. So risk on, bouncing reasonably well, but not looking all that aggressive, and that may be the theme right there between the Nasdaq and the IWM, the small caps and Russell. Not A lot of significant bullishness appearing on the candle formations here today, despite the triple digits on the Dow. And you go straight over to the VIX. So the market's being up, the VIX is likely to go down. The VIX remains in a range still. It did drop below the blue line, but still right back to the support levels right in that $12 range. So it's still between 12 and 13.50 currently.